Hey, welcome back to another episode of Random Guns That You Don't Own That I Do. Let's take a look today at Kahr Arms. It's going to be a P320. Actually, maybe you do own one. I don't know. This is the most feature-rich gun that I've ever owned that I thought was going to be so awesome, and yet it was the least useful gun imaginable. I'm not saying it's not a good gun. I am saying that I don't enjoy it. Maybe you will. I hope you do. I know another famous YouTuber out there really likes his. He's got the CW320, which is the poo-poo edition of this one. My pinky is out when I talk about that because I have the fancy edition, which I also don't really like. Let's take a look at what's on the box. A plastic bag for all of your plastic bag needs. Some stuff so that they can send you some swag. A Here's How to Not Screw Up book. A fine safety feature. Oh yes, that's going to get used a lot. Let's take that out for now. We'll look at this later. Comes with not one, but two magazines. I think one is 7 and one is 6. Yeah, 6, 7. And does have a little bit farther out pinky. Some very fine, fancy locking features for all of your fancy safety needs, such as this amazing lock, which is very, very, very strong. This must be made of unobtainium, because who could ever break this? Not me, for sure. So this goes around your trigger the other way. Yeah, you can imagine how that goes. Just like so. I mean, inventive, sure. And this goes through. It's got a little hole. And then the very, very strong lock goes right through there. And then you're much more safe. Let's put the box away. Good fun will be had by all that plays with the box. But not today. Oh. Seriously, that magazine, that's good stuff. Okay, Kahr Arms P380. Yeah, P380. Yep, in 38. Excuse me, 380. It's very small. I have a large hand, but this is very small. This is very attractive for me. I love mouse guns. I love little guns that fit in your pocket. I do honestly like that it is double action. I wish I had restrike so that I could go bang, 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 bang in case, this dead primer, I get some, I don't know, rocks jammed up in here when I'm crawling through the dirt to, snipe from many, many thousands of yards away with this tiny little thing. Of course, it's accurate enough. Anyway, let's just take a look. For measurements, we're going to put a magazine in with nothing in it, just for measurements. It's a whopping just under 5 inches long. A Magnum just over 4 inches, 4 1/8 inches tall at the tallest point. And I mean, this is actually really good. This is a .77. No, excuse me. About 9/10 of an inch thick. I mean, that is really good if you're concealing. It is hard to get a holster for. You can get them, but they are very hard to get. Let's turn on the scale. We'll get back to that in a minute. Since it's double action only, you have to make sure that the striker is charged each time. Ready. That's not bad. 4.10 ounces. Almost 4 pounds, 11 ounces almost. Let's try that one more time. Oh, almost 5 pounds that time. Strange the variability on these. I'm sure it's me. It always is. And third time. hey, got heavier. I don't think I was doing much differently. One more time just for fun. I hope you can see that. Oh. £5, 2.6 ounces. So it went from 4 pounds, 10 ounces to 5 pounds, 3 ounces. So somewhere in there is truth. I don't know if that's a discredit towards the machining. It's actually very well machined. Let's take a look. Now, one time we're going to break this down, just so you can see why I'm not a fan of some of the things. We know that it's unloaded, but the magazine is in. You need that, otherwise you're not going to be able to pull out the field strip it. In order to field strip it, you gotta use a tool to get under there, unless you got some like freaky deaky nails. And take that off. You gotta do the Glock cock. Oh man, come on. Maybe I do have to have that in. Alright, okay. That was an adventure. That's probably actually the fastest I've ever done that field strip, because I did it like 5 times in order to get ready for this video. So these are dead simple. Let's just take a look deep inside there. I mean, there ain't much going on there. That's the full action. There's no safety. There's no grip safety. There's no trigger safety. It's just a spring that's hard to pull. It really is very simple. But, I'm a big fan of simplicity. But I do want this to be very sturdy. In order to get into there, you unscrew that and that, which we're not going to do because then all this would come apart. And really, that's way outside of the scope of this intro. But anytime you touch anything with a tool, it scratches. And that's just kind of weird for me. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, even Glock gets these better than that. This is just not very sturdy. I don't know, maybe it needs more filament or more hair in the plastic or something, but whatever. Anyway, it's okay. It's the most okayest. Spring. It's a good spring. Double. It's very sturdy, very stout, because obviously it's going to absorb a lot of kick from such a small weapon. Now, there is an awesome feature. This is octagonal, which is fancy talk for it's actually rifled in the same way the Glocks are, where instead of it just being a ridge that spirals, it's got, let me see if you can see down there. I think you can see that. Where it's kind of rectangular with 8 sides. So that's cool. That's supposed to help be accurate. I can assure you it is not accurate. It could probably be just as accurate if it was a smooth bore and a lot more legally defensible. It is just a normal old striker fire. The machining is, I'd give it a solid A-, or in this case, I'm just seeing that right there, probably a B. There's nothing wrong with the machining. It's pretty good. It has a lot of little sharp edges. Wherever there is an edge, it is sharp. It's not very well rounded off. Let's put it back together. Ooh. Okay. Now, this has always been tricky because this little magazine out safety feature makes it really hard to put back together because, hey, focus. Camera, you gotta focus. Do your job. DYFJ. Sometimes you gotta push that down in there, which is annoying as heck because it doesn't always like it no matter what you do. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just overpowered it with my brute strength. That's not the right way to do it, but that's sometimes the only way to do it. And it goes. Can we get it on the first try? Ta-da! Finally. Magazine's going in. So as you do shoot it, mind you, my hands are pretty big. We forgot to do one important test. We're going to turn that scale on, and we're going to test the weight in a moment. As you look down the sights, as the sights are dialing in, let's see if I can, there we are. You'll notice it has very nice sights. I really, really do like those sights, except for that they're very sharp and they catch on everything, which, if you're one of those weirdos who thinks that they're going to charge the magazine, charge the that you're going to actually put another round in the chamber on your belt, you know, if you're one of those guys, you know, this will do it. But, you know, who does that for real? It does have very nice sights. I mean, they're tritium. If I need to turn off the lights to show you what tritium looks like, we can't be friends. Sorry. It does have last round hold open when it works. Evidently, it didn't want to work this time. Man, that is unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to pretend it worked. There we go. Haha. Oh. There. That time it worked. You know, just the damn thing's so freaking sketchy sometimes. And it's an awesome gun. Supposedly, at least per how much it cost. This guy, I'm in California. $750. I had high hopes for it. I am easy to impress. It did not fulfill any of my needs. Tear. Okay. Without, can you read that? Yeah, looks like it. Yeah. Without anything on it, 10 ounces almost on the dot. I mean, that is really light. Kicks like a tiny 10-ounce mule, but it is 10 ounces. Can you believe that crap? With a magazine, 11.3. Let's check it out with some ammo. We'll load 6 rounds in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of Winchester white box. To a total of 13 pounds. 13 1/3 pounds. That's, excuse me, 13 1/3 ounces. That is really light. Like, that just fits anywhere. What high hopes we have for this. My goodness, that's so light. So, I'll take these out just for safety. As you go to the range to learn how to shoot this, you quickly find that not only can you not keep it in a 2-inch circle at 7 yards-ish, not only can you not keep it in like a 4-inch or 3-inch circle, I couldn't even keep it on something the size of a paper plate. But, I mean, it was probably within the size of my hand. You know, that's my giant banana hand. But it just couldn't stay accurate. I mean, it was so big. It was like maybe 8-10 inches. And it was pretty reliably to the low left, which, as everybody knows, everybody who's a shooter knows that as you are pulling a trigger, your trigger finger is a hinge, not a servo. So it hinges, it's not straight back. So as you pull back, it'll twist over. And if you got bigger hands, then you can't do this. You got to get your finger all the way in there. All the way in there, it seems. And as you pull the trigger, it moves. Anyway, with such a short sight radius, I mean, that sight radius can't be long at all. I mean, what is it? From tip to tail, 4 1/4 inches. That sight radius. So if you move it the tiniest little bit, it's gonna go like way over. And that just sucks. If you had a longer barrel, it could be accurate, but it's not. And every little tiny movement makes a giant movement downrange. I couldn't take this past, a few yards without getting too uncomfortable with what would I hit. It is not a revolver, so it doesn't have that really sturdy, like get off of me, in the belly blaster range. It still has to move that far. So that means that's how long it has to be, at least, especially as it kicks. So this is to replace maybe a 38 snub nose. I don't think that the snub nose does a worse job. I think the snub nose does a better job, and I don't like snub nose. This is going to leave casings everywhere that you shoot, bang, 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 which should be okay legally speaking, but you also want to retain your casings just in case. This pistol was far too expensive for what it is. Far too expensive. So it's really nice. Just like diamonds are really nice. But who cares? It is really nice, but that's all it is. I cannot seem to want to sign off on this thing. So I give it a thumbs up for, it looks cool. It fits in my pocket great. There isn't anything specifically wrong with it. But I give it 2 thumbs down because I don't ever want to carry it. I think it just sucks. So I'm going to sell some guns soon. This is going to be one of them. I hope to get something out of it. But man, it's just so feature rich with so many cool things. I wish it was good. But alas, it is not. So thanks for listening. I hope this helps you make a decision. If I were to make a recommendation about this, it would be probably don't worry about getting it. I mean, it's on the same length as, it's on the same playing field as like the Kel-Tec P380 for $150, $200, not $750. You're not going to hit anything with this that you couldn't hit with that. You can get a Glock 42. Hit just about anything anywhere. You can get night sights on it. Just take your pick, man. This isn't it. If you had to get something this tiny, I'd probably just recommend you get like an OK 38 special, because there is 1 round more, and it's 380, not 38, and you can get a lot of oomph out of a 38 compared to a 380. It just ain't worth it. So, take care. See you next time.